first example of the heat transport, we will go through the derivations of the problem with the title of the heat conduction with an electrical source. So in this particular example, we assume that the electric wire with the circular cross sections with the radius r. Okay, so in this picture we have this particular cylindrical system that has been drawn already with the radius of r. So an electric wire of this radius r, it has an electrical conductivity of Ka ohm raised to -1 over centimeter. So through this wire, an electric current with current density of I ampere per centimeter square flows, and the transmission of this electric current is an irreversible process. So some of the electrical energy gets converted into heat. So the rate of the heat productions per unit volume is expressed by this particular formula in here. Okay, so the first one that we will check in here is the units joule per centimeter cube per second. So if we check on this one, then we will have this particular units which you raise to 2 on the numerator and also in the denominator you put in the terms. So you will have amp square divided by centimeter raised to 4 divided by 1 over ohm centimeter. Then we will have this ampere square ohm divided by centimeter cube. Okay, and then this will be equal to not that joule is equal to ampere square ohm second. So this ampere square ohm will be equal to joule per second. So then in this case, this will be equal to joule per centimeter cube second. So as we can see in here, we have cross-checked that this unit is correct indeed. Okay, then we need to go back into our system in here, and in here the heat basically flows in the radial directions. Okay, on the directions of the R. So then we need to basically make a shell elements within the electric wire with the thickness of delta R. Okay, the thickness in here, and then we draw the heat in by conductions, the heat out by conductions, and we know that there is also a uniform heat production by electrical heating, which is indicated by this term in here. So then what is the rate of heat in a cross cylindrical surface at R? So that we are dealing with the surface where the heat in comes. Okay, the surface is basically the cylindrical surface, so we can put in here 2 pi r L multiplied by the QR at R. So this will be equal to 2 pi RL QR at R. And then the second term is this, so this one already being derived. This one is already, this one is the next one. 2 pi R plus delta R L multiplied by QR at R plus delta R. So this can be all lumped together into this term, 2 pi R L QR at R plus delta R. And then we have the last term is the rate of thermal energy production by electrical. Sorry, this one is not electrical conductivity. This is supposed to be electrical dissipation. Okay, so in here we define first the volume of the shell element, 2 pi r delta r L multiplied by the SE. Okay, note that this particular things in here refer to the surface area, so it has the unit of meter square or centimeter square, but this particular term in here has a unit of meter cube because this is a volume. Okay, a several note that we can do in here is that this QR is basically the heat flux in the R direction, and then if we put in a bracket and we put this one at R plus delta R, that means this one is evaluated at R plus delta R. So this particular quantity in here evaluated at R plus delta R, so R evaluated at R plus delta R will be equal to R plus delta R. So it's very important, and I think we have discussed this thing several times in the momentum transport example. So I hope that you will get familiar with these particular terms. Okay, in and out in here are taken to be in the positive R directions. So for this particular example in here, we note that we are using a cylindrical coordinates. Okay, then after we derive these three quantities of interest, then we can substitute this into the energy balance. In here we only have in by molecular, and then minus out by molecular, and then plus energy production. Then this will be equal to 0. So we can substitute the quantities on top. So this one is 2 pi RL QR at R minus 2 pi RL QR R plus delta R plus 2 pi R delta RL SE equals 0, and then we can divide by 2 pi L delta R. Okay, once we divide, then we will get this expression. Note that in here of particular importance is that you cannot separate this with this term in here. So you cannot just basically when you divide this thing, you separate this R with QR. Actually in here R is lumped with the QR because QR in here is a function of R. So if you basically skip this and you just split this R with respect to QR, then you will end up with a totally different expression, and that expressions will be wrong. Then this one you can take limit delta R approaching 0. So this, then you will have d per dr RQR is equal SE R. Okay, then you can integrate this. then we can divide the left term with and the right term with R. Then we can put in the boundary conditions to find the value of C1. So the first boundary conditions will be BC1 at R equals 0, QR is finite. That means it's not infinite. So what we meant in here is that at this particular positions of in the axial in here, or if I draw for you in here clearly at this particular positions in here, at the center of your cylindrical radius, then the value of your QR cannot be infinite, so it has to have a finite quantity. So in this respect, C1 should be equal to 0, because if your C1 is not equal to 0, then a division by R equal 0 in here will result in an infinite value. Okay, so because as a result of C1 is equal 0, then your QR will be equal half SER. Okay, then the next steps will be you substitute Fourier's law. QR is equal minus K dt over dr. So we put this on the left hand side, and then we assume that if K can be assumed as constant, then this first order ODE can be integrated. So we can rearrange the term in here, okay, and integrate. Then now we are left with the C2. Then we need to use another boundary conditions again in here. At the outer radius, T is equal T0. So we go back again into our systems and then check what does this mean. So at this particular surface, okay, when the radius is equal to R, then the value of the temperature is equal to T0. So this is the boundary condition that we discussed in the week 5 lecture slides. If this is the case, then what we do is we substitute this value. T0 is equal to 1 divided by 4 SE K R square plus C2, and so your C2 will be equal to SE R square 4K plus T0. Then you can substitute your C2 into these equations in here. If we do so, we will get T equal to minus 1 divided by 4 SE divided by K R square plus SE r square divided by 4k plus t naught, and then t minus t naught will be equal to se r square divided by 4k 1 minus r square divided by capital R square. T minus T naught is equal SE R square 4K 1 minus R over capital R square. So then we have solved the temperature distributions in the electric wire. Okay, from this we can derive the quantities of interest. For example, then what are the maximum temperature? So the maximum temperature in here it's also can be defined as maximum temperature rise. So it will occur at the axial portion. So it's in the center of your cylindrical or your electric wire, and this value will be equal to T max minus T naught is equal to SE capital R square divided by 4K. We will continue deriving the next quantity of interest in the next video. Thank you.